Someone is trying to steal my base. We came up with a plan to trick Rek and steal his prized golden apple.
I got it!
Give me a good reason not to kill you right now.
They stole all of my stuff, but an alliance I never saw coming was about to change everything and win this war. I had just lost every block I had because of this secret base war. Things were escalating quickly and I honestly didn't know how far they were gonna go. But now I didn't have any supplies to prepare or protect myself. And I knew if I don't get them back, it was game over. My only option was to try to make peace with the very enemy who started this war. So, can I have my stuff back?
See, I'm trying to think. Like, do I even want my base back? Do I even want Steve back?
If you don't want it back, that's fine. I mean, I'm still finding new and secret areas inside the base. This was true, because remember when Rek killed me after Chief stole the apple? When I spawned, I got a little lost and came across this really strange secret area I had never seen before. And apparently, neither had Rek.
What do you mean? Like one that I built?
Yeah.
Can you show me?
Sure.
And you're not like leading me into a trap.
No.
And you didn't build this.
I didn't build this. I'm not capable. I don't have anything to build with. You didn't build this? You really didn't build this?
I did not build this.
So that left the question, who did? Because remember, if we don't know who built this secret area, we can't evict them, meaning they could use squatters' rights to steal the base from both of us. Luckily, Rek and I are a pretty good team when we put our minds together, and also maybe a little paranoid.
I don't think they did their redstone optimally. No, they didn't. I'll tell you what, Branzy, that just might be the key. Hold on. That's very interesting that they built their Jeb door with a 4-tick delay and not a 2-tick delay. It's slower than normal. Follow me, Branzy. Follow me. Do you know why we're here?
It's a skills area? I have no idea why we're here.
Have you watched Civ's latest video? He has a secret door right here. I'm trapped. You wanna press the button?
Yep, I got you.
Okay. If these timings are set to 4, I think Civ has done it. The timings are set to 4 here, Branzy.
Dude, you are the best. You're the best. You're the best detective on the server. But that wasn't all the evidence we found. Cooked pork chop. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
You know what I picked up when we were fighting, when you killed me earlier and Chief? Pork chops.
No.
Cooked pork chops.
No, you actually did? It's been staring me in the face the whole time. Housewarming gift, love, Civ, and Chief. Civ and Chief. Those two. They've been working on the Nether hub together.
And that was the birth of the most deadly alliance in this server's history. Rek and I now had a common goal, to figure out who was really behind this new secret base. Let's call it Base X for short. We didn't have many clues to go off of and were quickly losing steam until Rek had a great idea.
I might have some replay mods.
And since we had previously agreed that replay mod was fair game for the war, we scoured through hours of footage that we had to try to catch the culprit in the act. Sadly though, whoever was building this was smart, or at least smart enough not to work on the base while we were on the server. Fortunately, we did see that between two of my clips, someone had made progress on building the base. That meant that all we needed to do was figure out who was online in the 26-hour time gap between those two clips. And Rek thought of just the way to do that.
Contact Lucid. He has access to the logs file.
Which Lucid sent us just a few minutes later. But it wasn't game, set, match just yet, because we still needed to sift through hundreds of lines of logs, not just to see who had been online, but what they had been up to. This gave us a list of suspects. And since Civ didn't even get on during that time, he was no longer one of them. And Rek and I realized in order for any culprit to make a small amount of progress on Base X, they would need enough time to assumedly come over to my base, work on what they were doing, and get out before we were back on, which we roughly estimated to take at least 30 minutes of time on the server. That immediately eliminated Iconic Blue Jay, as she was only online for about 20 minutes. And Chief, well, although he was online, he seemed to be distracted by learning how to trade with villagers and fighting a dragon. not enough time to work on base X. But Rek and I were looking for someone not only with enough time, but enough copper to build base X as well. And one conversation stood out. Wow, you really must be doing something big. I do have a big project to get ready for, and just a few minutes later, anyone have copper for sale? I don't have a lot, unfortunately. Where are you, bud? Secret project. I have some copper for you. So Skills and Mayu are both working on big and secret projects, and Tiger has enough copper that he can sell. That meant we had 3 suspects remaining. And just as Rek and I were discussing our suspects, this happened.
Yeah.
So whose base is this?
That's a good question.
It's my base.
There we go. Okay.
Oh.
I think
But we're trying to decide. What the?
What just happened? I mean, if that wasn't the most sus thing I've ever seen, then I wouldn't be a very good detective. Was that Mayu's way of admitting guilt and claiming the base? Or was she just throwing a wrench in the works to watch us squirm? We needed hard evidence of the culprit in base X, but how could we do it? We had exhausted our replay mod footage and siphoned through every line in the server log. It felt like we were so close to cracking this case, but that there was no way to prove who did it. And since the culprit hadn't made any progress on base X in days, we knew our window was probably closed to catch them in the act. And then I couldn't believe it. Skills only logged on for a single minute, but I caught him red-handed in base X and left an eviction notice so he couldn't steal the base from me and Rek. The next day, I went to meet up with my partner to tell him the good news, but when I got there, something strange had happened to the base. I didn't know who had put these soldiers here or why. Had the squatter left them to kick me out of the base? Did a supporter leave them as an army to help me defend my property? And if not, had another party entered the chat to try to claim this base for themselves? I had no answers, but I did have the sudden realization that this space was now the most sought after commodity on the server. And even if I managed to keep this base, I couldn't defend it on my own. When I met back up with Rek to tell him about Skills and show him the invading army, he finally revealed his plot to get revenge on Chief for stealing Steve.
I'm gonna bed trap his bed so that whenever he spawns, a piston just pushes him into the void. And then the cycle repeats and repeats. So this is the only spot right here where they could spawn. And they would sit here, they get pushed over, and underneath this block, I've broken the void.
I was conflicted. I mean, I had just cleared Chief's name from possibly betraying me, and we had such a long history of cons together. But I knew if I was going to have any part of this base by the end of the war, I was going to need Rek's help. So I agreed to help, but I had one condition. If I'm gonna betray him, I'm gonna need some stuff. And I mean a lot of stuff, Rek. I need about 54 shulkers of stuff.
All of your stuff though? Because then I don't even really want Steve a whole lot, you know? I'd rather have the deed to the base.
Okay, I'll tell you who has the deed.
Okay.
And I'll help you trap
might
Chief.
be a fair trade then.
So Rek and I built the trap. Well, Rek built the trap and I kind of just got in the way a little. It was time to put Rek's plan into action. My job was simple: get Chief to set his spawn and get him out of the base so Rek could build the trap. But while convincing him to set his spawn, I accidentally actually set mine as well. Meaning that if Rek traps both beds and betrays me to finally get the deed to his base back, it would be game over again. It was too late to go back now. Okay. The main thing we needed to do was to build a stasis chamber that was like close by.
Close quarters, reconnaissance, extraction pole.
Right. Obviously that doesn't really work, right?
Right.
Because apparently, as you can see, I'm not a great planner. I
You
have
have problems with
I am
hitting
so
me
sorry.
too.
I did not
Jeez.
mean to do that. Don't hit me back.
don't
That's
even.
terrible.
No.
Don't do that. Why would
No.
you?
Yeah, okay, so we should have seen that coming.
This was it. The moment of truth. Was Rek going to betray me and take the base back for himself? To my pleasant surprise, it turns out that Rek's desire for revenge meant more than trapping me for the deed to his base.
I seem to have Yeah.
Can you really catch a squid? It's more of a farming thing, but okay.
Do you want us to say we're farming you right now? Would that make
That would make me actually feel valued. So I'd love that.
Okay. This is just a major gloating point for me.
Right.
I feel much better now. The trauma that you caused me, Chief, it feels good to return the favor. So unless you have anything else to say, Branzy, I vote we let him out.
And in all the excitement, I almost forgot about my stolen stuff.
The chest should have been here, right? So then we just need to dig this way and then this way. It's just around here somewhere. Just start digging.
Oh, there they are.
I'm good at stuff.
Oh, see, we were way off. Yeah, here's all your stuff. But now, who
perfect.
does have my paper?
That, my friend, would be ZL.
Really?
Well, I'm gonna unpack my stuff.
Where are you gonna put it is the question. You have as much right to the space as I do at the moment.
That's true. That's a good point.
All this betrayal and mind games.
It was for a sleepover.
It was for a sleepover. I didn't get invited. I wanted to.
I was back on top. I had my stuff, I had a beautiful base, and I had all of my friends back. Everyone was happy and at peace.
If I
what's up?
wanted to end my episode with getting the deed, should I just like steal it from ZL like right now?
Okay, well, apparently I underestimated Rex's bloodlust, and he'll probably kill me too for lying to him, so...
ZL.
You're devious. I love that.
I love that too. Oh, I have the deed to the copper house.
And a roommate.
And a roommate.
And a friend.
It sounds like a cheesy end to a video.